Hey there, it's Martha, and if you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So this is my monthly check-in. I have been recording a check-in, I guess I did one, right, at the beginning of February, right, early February, to look back on January, and this is a look back onto February and how I did with my goals. I had two big goals, I think, that I shared. One was reading more, and the other was on a low buy. February was a big pre-order month. A lot of temptation. So how did I do? Well, let's stick around and I'll tell you. Okay, so for context, in case you're new, at the beginning of January, I had two big goals, which was low buy, using more of the wax that I'm bringing in, right? So bringing that number down and allowing myself to buy in pre-orders, but not so much that I go over. I go over the starting point, which was 1,000. 1,000 units was the starting point. In January, I used up 43. And in February, I used up or gave, because some of it I didn't use up, but I sent some wax mail to friends. And so out the door was 72. Either I melted it or gave it away. So 72 units. So that brings me to starting out March with 900. So January 1st was 1,000. March 1st, I'm starting with 900. So that's actually really good. And it feels good to give things away that I don't love, that I know someone else will love more, and then use up, the stuff that I really love. So February was a good month, even though it was a shorter month. I don't want to say getting rid of, using up, outs. I call them outs, 72. And then in February, I brought in 15. I brought in 15 Scentsy bars. So that was fine. It didn't disrupt the 72 that I put out. So that's how I ended up with 900. I ended up 900 because I had 43 outs in January, brought 15 in February, and then 72 out at the end of February. February was also for me anyway, a big pre-order temptation month, and probably for many of you. So here's a question. Out of the pre-orders in February, what did you order from, and any regrets? So that's the question. I ordered from Teddy B's. I ordered from Salt Mountain Melts. I ordered from Second and Spruce, and I ordered from Knowles Farm Scents. So those were the four vendors that I placed orders with, and I kept them all small. Again, really hard, but being very intentional about what I'm bringing in, knowing that I don't need everything right now, knowing that I can request or hope to see some of these scents later, and then wanting really more spring summer scents. That made Teddy B's a little easier. Originally, I had like 15 scents on my list, and then I got it down to 6. So 5 soufflés in one tub. And the list actually helped because there was a lot of items on there that I either already have, so I don't want, a second of it, or was more woodsy, wintry scents, and I was looking for more spring, summer. So the list actually helped me out, and I only got 6 total from Teddy B. So that was good. I was good. And then came Salt Mountain Melts. And I think because I've ordered from Salt Mountain Melts once before, and it was fantastic. Like I loved the scents. I love the wax. The few that I've warmed so far really performed for me. So part of the other thing I was thinking in my mind with Teddy B's was, well, if I instead of ordering the kind of like ones you're on the fence or sound good, I'd rather give some of that to Salt Mountain Melts. So I kind of look at what I can buy in my low buy as like a budget, right? I have a budget. I don't want to bring in 100 units. It just kind of defeats me trying to, melt down what I have. So I feel like, although I didn't say what the budget was, I wanted to keep everything under 40. I wanted to keep whatever I brought in under 40. So by only buying 6 scents from Teddy B's, it gave me it gave me the opportunity really to buy from Salt Mountain Melts, which I wanted to. I also love that Amanda's list is not super, super long, so I feel like I could get a good percentage of what she's offering for the pre-order and not, and feel like I can buy a lot of it. So I did place an order of Salt Mountain Melts. I don't remember how many I got from her, but total, when I looked at Teddy B's, Salt Mountain Melts, Knowles Farm Scents, and Second and Spruce, I ordered, I believe it was 38. So 38 total amongst all those vendors. So that's pretty good. And then from Knowles Farm Scents, I want to say it was either 8 or 9. I placed 8 or 9 bags from Knowles Farm Scents. And also that was tough. That was a tough one too. There was definitely a lot on the list that I crossed out. But again, it's okay. Like these can come back, or I can watch the haul videos. And if there's something that I feel like I really, really would love, I can always ask. And hopefully, Travis will bring it in the future. And then the other one was Second and Spruce. So Second and Spruce, I want to say I placed an order of about 16. Another hard one, really hard. That pre-order was funny because I don't remember how many I had written down originally, and then I start crossing. It's like, okay, I can't get it all. Can't get all the scents that I want. And then I would cross some stuff off, add some stuff on, cross some stuff off. So I didn't have a final list until minutes before the pre-order opened because I just kept changing my mind. So I think I'll be surprised when I get that pre-order because I don't quite remember exactly what I got. It's on my spreadsheet, but I can't tell you what that is right here. I'd have to go look. So that's what I did in February. So I was pretty good considering the temptation. So I imagine that I won't be tempted again potentially until, well, that's a lie, but until April, May, when some of these come back, right? When some of those, that cycle, I think there's a cycle about 8 weeks, right? Where these vendors will bring their next pre-order. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm down from 1,000 to 900 at this point, and even adding in the 38 that I bought from the pre-order, that's like, that's actually nothing. I'll probably end up, hopefully, maybe using that up in that amount in March, and that number will just keep going down. So that was that. Then other things. So on my channel, I started my wax collection series. So I started Rose Girls. I had pre-recorded Sassy Girl Aroma prior to the fire. So I had to re-record a new intro, so that video makes sense. It was an hour-long video, and it was fine to share. It's just a couple things that I say probably needed some context. And so that's coming up. I am going to probably release that video this coming week. And then I did my lavender and speckles. So I think up next, as far as the next, what I would probably post in March is Knowles Farm Scents. Let's see what else. Knowles Farm Scents. I have a lot of Zape as well, and I have Teddy B's. So that's probably what I might get to before the end of the month on my wax collection series. So that's been a lot of fun to do and really good for me to do because I'm touching every piece, all the pieces, all the wax, re-smelling things, re-sniffing things, re-falling in love with ones, wondering why I'm not warming more of this particular vendor when I have so much. So that's been a really, really good thing and exercise in smelling and seeing everything that I have. So that is what's been happening. And then what else? I think the other thing as far as goals that I wanted this year was to read more. And I read 4 books this month. So not fantastic, but pretty good. It's been a really busy month. There's been a lot of travel. There's been a lot of social things that I'm doing. There's been work, like all day workshops, work dinners. I think I've had like 4 or 5 work dinners this month. I had a concert. I went to a concert. So there's just been a lot of things that take up the limited time that I have. And, it's all good stuff though. So I did go see Madonna in concert. We'll let the siren go. And I'm a fan, I guess. I was a fan more like in the 80s and 90s, but when I heard this was a greatest hits tour, I was like, I got to go see it. And I'm glad I did. It was truly a greatest hits. So that was on Wednesday night. So here's another question. Do you enjoy going to concerts? And what is the first concert you ever went to? Mine by choice was Duran Duran, I think. No, maybe not, but I think so. That's, I think, what it is. And I say by choice because I also remember being very little, and my parents took me to see Tony Orlando. I think they took themselves to see Tony Orlando, but brought me and my brother to see Tony Orlando. That's back in the 70s, but I still remember that was technically my first concert. All right, so let's get on to books. What did I read? So I read 4 books this month. I only have 2 of them to show you, but I read this one called The Intern. Another goal of mine is to read the Book of the Month books that I have. So that's the Book of the Month. I have a stack of Book of the Month books from years that I have not read. So this one was The Intern. I picked this up last year. And this was by Michelle Campbell. This was I'd say it was a little bit of a slow start. I almost a couple times are like, you know what? Should I just DNF this and just put it down and pick up something else? But then I didn't. And you know what it is? I struggle starting new books unless and that's, I think, why I like mysteries and thrillers, because the pacing of them tends to grab you quickly, and then I'm in. With slower burn books, I'm sometimes on the fence about like, oh, it's just, am I into this? But honestly, I think by page 30, it's not really far. I was like, okay, this is kind of going. So it's not that slow. It just took me a little bit to get into this one. This is a cat and mouse type of book. This is about an intern intern to a judge. And there's some shady business going on, and she's lied to the judge about something that she doesn't want her to know because she doesn't want to lose her internship. And then there's a lot of secrets that this judge has. And it's a little bit of them finding out about each other's secrets and then wondering, can I trust this person or can I not? So as the book went on, I did like the pacing between the 2 points of view. So the point of view of the intern and the point of view of the judge. And so it kind of kept flipping back and forth. And then it also had some, I'd say, pretty decent character development when it comes to the judge, more the judge's background and seeing kind of what happened to her and how she ended up where she is with the issues that she has, the secrets, right? The secrets that she's hiding. And so in the end, I actually really did enjoy this book. So if you like legal stuff, if you like corruption a little bit, if you like those kinds of things, I think you'll enjoy this. I did end up enjoying this quite a bit. I think I gave this 3.75 stars just because of the little bit of a slow start. And but I ended up really enjoying it and the whole thing. So that was good. 3.75. I think that's what I said. It was like 4, it's up there. The other one that I read was this one called Stone Cold Fox. I have to return it to the library. This I had heard about from a podcast sometime last year, and I had put it on my library holds for a while. And this one is by Rachel Collar Croft. And I believe she is a screenwriter, I think. Yeah, I think she's a screenwriter. So this one, also another cat and mouse type of genre or type of trope, I guess. So I think I like those type, but they're not my favorite. So it took me a little bit to get into The Intern. This one, it took me a while to get into it as well, but I had heard good things, so I was going to stick with it and see if there were some twists or something that happens at the end. This is another one where a little bit took a while to get into, and then there's momentum that just picks up and picks up and picks up. What was difficult for me in the beginning of this book was all the characters are, yucky. Like I didn't like any of them. I didn't like any of the characters. And I do struggle with books like that because I need to find some kind of redeeming quality. But these were all rich people. These are all con artists, right? So the con artist, if you like that type of thing, you'll probably enjoy this. But there's a con artist, but they're not necessarily good people, right? And then it's a very 1%, like the 1% rich, right? Like super mega rich, old money. And so you can kind of see that there's a con artist working her way into marrying a rich guy. And the rich guy's friend is like, I see you, that this is not, you're not who you say you are. And so they're messing with each other. And they almost, the fiance, the rich fiance, and his best friend from childhood is a woman named Gail. And then he's marrying this con artist named B. And it's the cat and mouse is that they like kind of messing with each other, digging, throwing these little digs at each other. They both know that the other one knows something, but kind of how much can I get away with type of thing. So that being said, the more this book kept going, I am glad I finished it. I did like the ending of it. There wasn't big twists, but there was enough in there to kind of save it for me. So this one, I give a 3.5 stars, but I'm glad I read it. I'd been wanting to read this for a long time and I ended up enjoying it. So that was Stone Cold Fox. I'm terrible at these synopses here. The other book that I read is Happy Place. That one I just finished 2 days ago, and that is Emily Henry. Emily Henry is the author. Happy Place is her book. I want to say this is the 4th book I've read from her, and she's an auto read author for me now. I love that her books are lighter, so there's romance. So you could call them kind of a romance, but it's not just romance. They're very deep in relationships. Her last book prior to Happy Place was, I love the relationship between the main character and the sister. And this particular one, it's these college friends, right? These friends that are they bonded in college, and it's this nostalgia in a way of going back to that happy place when they were all happy and together and young. And now, they're working and relationships have changed and they're changing they're also moved far away from each other. And so that to me was like the heart of it. Yes, there's a romance also going on, but those are the way her books are. There's a romantic element to it, but it's much more deeper than that and more about the friendship. And I really enjoyed this book a lot. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I like this one probably as much as Book Lovers and Beach Read. Beach Read was the first one I read from Emily Henry. The second one was something about vacation. It was 2 best friends going on vacation. That one was my least favorite of the 4 that I've read. And then Happy Place, I'd say, is kind of neck and neck with Book Lovers, and I like that one a lot. If you like banter, you'll like Emily Henry. If you don't like banter and just the quick wit of characters, then maybe that's not an author for you, but I actually love that a lot. She offers that in all her books. I just love that banter between characters. And so I'm a fan, and I really enjoyed Happy Place, and I would highly recommend that. If you want something, it's light, but there's also some deep stuff in there. There's some deep things that the characters are working through. So it's not fluffy. It's not fluffy, but it's a really good book. So that was Happy Place. And then the last one that I'm going to mention here is Assassin's Blade from Sarah J. Maas. This is an older book of hers. I know she's well known for, is it A Court of Thorn and Roses, which I did read last year or 2 years ago. This one is part of a book club with some of my wax friends here. It's a prequel to Throne of Glass, I believe is what the series is called, and Assassin's Blade is the prequel to that. And so that consists of 5 stories, 5 short stories. And now where it left me was a little bit of a cliffhanger. So now I can't wait to start Throne of Glass, and I'm definitely going to start that in the next week or so. So that is what I read this month, and those are the books. And I think that's really about it and all I have to share. If there's any other questions you have, I don't know, any questions for me, feel free to drop them down in the comments and I'll make sure to answer it during the next monthly check-in, which is March. What I will say about March is I'm gone like for half the month. So we'll see. We'll see how much wax I melt. I have the basket here, and that melting, or not melting basket, but I guess March melting basket is right here. So that video will be coming up as well. I've already recorded it, and that's really it. So yeah, I hope you had a great month. It's been a hard year for a lot of people, really, really hard year. So 2024 has not kicked off very well. I don't know if there's full moon, weird juju going around. I don't know, but I'm hoping that the worst is behind us. If you've had a terrible start to the year, I'm hoping the worst is behind you, and it's all. Is it uphill or downhill? It seems like downhill seems negative to me, but it makes sense that you'd say downhill because it's easier, right? Uphill feels like there's work, but downhill, I don't know. Why am I not getting that saying correctly? Is it all downhill from here? Yeah, downhill doesn't sound positive either. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope things turn around if it's not been a good start, and things just get better and better, and we have more sunny days ahead. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, this chatty video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing as well. So thank you so much, and I will chat with you later. Bye-bye.